Hey guys, what's going on? Aaron Chen here. Hope you're doing well. Just a Saturday morning actually here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I wanted to do a fun little video for you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit about mentorship, okay? Very, very important, because if you don't have the right mentorship, you are going to be big time screwed when it comes to building any sort of business on the internet. So hold on, I'm just gonna switch on the lights for you guys because it's really, really dark in here, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Bang! Okay, that's a lot better. Let's see. Here we go. Cool, excellent. All right, so hope you guys are doing well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about mentorship. I think this is a super important topic, okay? I tend to talk about it, once in a while. I bring it back up again because I think it's a crucial part of building a very, very successful business. Again, it doesn't matter what you're in, you know? It was really interesting because the other day I was on LinkedIn and I saw a little piece on mentorship, and it was actually a surgeon that was talking about mentorship. And basically what he was saying was that mentorship is one of the most important things in the world for any type of business, right? Any type of career, any type of business owner, right? Or profession. Even a surgeon, where you would think that would be a bit strange to have a mentor sit inside the operating theater and watch your every single move to kind of figure out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, because most surgeons don't do that. But he decided that he was going to give that a shot because he thinks that there is some value in it. And after he did it the first time, he improved his surgery skills tremendously, because he was making a lot of little mistakes that he never even realized. Like he was raising his arm very high, which was he was losing control of the knife. There were lots of different things that he was doing wrong. Okay, so if you want to become great at something, right? It's very, very important for you to, seek out mentorship. That's, really what I did. And, for those of you who are watching, a lot of you are my YouTube subscribers, right? Hi guys, appreciate you, of course. But some of you here have never watched any of my videos before. Maybe you just found me somewhere online. Well, quick backstory. I've been building businesses now for almost a decade, right? I started in 2009. I started in MLM, network marketing. I moved very quickly onto online marketing. And I've tried pretty much every business model that you can think of. E-commerce, affiliate marketing, top tier sales, marketing systems, selling my own physical products, everything. I've done a lot of stuff. So what I do now mainly is I sell affiliate marketing products, okay? So digital products that are already created. I'm creating my own soon, so watch this space, okay? But I sell other people's programs and I get it into the hands of people that actually need it to solve a problem, okay? Now, the thing that I struggled with was I failed in my business for the first 8 years. So the first 8 years, I made a bit of money here, a bit of money there. I even learned to, build out some of my own websites. I learned to drive traffic and customers, to specific places. But in reality, I didn't have a profitable business every single month. I was really struggling in that respect, right? And it wasn't until about a year and a half, 2 years ago when I really started to figure this stuff out. And for those of you who are, my my subscribers, you know my story, right? But the thing is that one of the things that really helped me to figure it out is mentorship, okay? Now, some of you might be saying, well, Aaron, if it took you 8 years to find success, what kind of mentorship did you have and why was it taking so long, And the truth is that it takes a while to find the right mentor. That's the reality, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to, allude to today, right? Mentorship is very important, okay? You cannot discount that. You must find a mentor, all right? So if you're here, because most of you guys that are watching my video, you're either interested in building some sort of online business or you have already started, but you're failing miserably, right? And you're trying to find the right guidance, the right strategies and skills in order to, make that sort of close that gap, right? And it takes a while to find the right person because there's so many people out there. And unfortunately, because of the nature of the world that we live in right now, there's a lot of garbage out there too, right? And so the first, I would say first couple of years that I was building the business, first year I was doing MLM. So my mentorship was completely wrong because they were traditional MLMers, right? They don't understand anything about online marketing. Then my second year, I got into a marketing system, and even though the marketing system was good, the owner of the system wasn't really mentoring me. He was basically the owner of the system, so he had no time for me, so I didn't learn anything from him, okay? So that was about 1 or 2 years. Then my fourth year, my third or fourth year, I followed someone who was very successful, but he was doing everything through social media, right? So he was doing everything for free. He was doing what's called SEO, that's search engine optimization. That's when you game Google and you get rankings on Google. So when somebody searches for how to lose weight, right? Your website is going to pop up on the first page of Google. And unfortunately, that's a very, very complicated strategy. It's one of the most difficult online strategies, actually. And he figured out how to do it, but I wasn't able to really learn from him because he wasn't really teaching it properly, okay, unfortunately. And also, I just couldn't figure it out. I invested very heavily on SEO tools. He was doing a lot of stuff on social media where he was dropping links all over social media, and I didn't have time to do that. I didn't want to build my business that way, right? So that was one whole year gone. Year 5, I learned from somebody else who basically taught us that you need to generate leads online, online, and then you need to bring that conversation offline and do what's called a strategy session where you sit down with them for 3 or 4 hours and you upsell them into products that cost $10,000 to $20,000, okay? Now, it was a good strategy and it worked and we made some very, very big sales, but that strategy, unfortunately, is not scalable. It's not scalable, right? If I wasn't there doing the 3 or 4 hour calls or my business partners weren't there, then we weren't making any money, right? So how do you scale a business like that? I would have had to hire very, very good coaches in order to close the business for me. And I didn't see any longevity in that, right? Because I didn't know where to find the coaches, right? So again, that was year 5, year 6. So I made a bit of money here, a bit of money there. I've had different mentors, but what I realized is that if you don't have the right mentor, and that's the operative word, right? The right mentor who is building their business the way that you want to build your business, you're never gonna go anywhere. Okay, and that's really the biggest takeaway that I had in my first 8 years, right? So mentorship, I've always had, or I always knew that was an important thing. But if you don't have the right mentor showing you the right skills, right, and they're not showing you the things that you want to learn how to do in your own business, then you're screwed, right? So for example, if let's just say you decide to do MLM, right? I wouldn't recommend it because again, I think that it's a flawed business model just because I've grown 4 MLM companies and I recruited lots of people and I wasn't paid the amount of money that I expected to be paid, right? Again, a lot of people, there are some people that are successful, but I wouldn't recommend that business model at all, right? But let's just say you decide to do MLM and you want to build your business online, but your mentor is building their business offline, then there is a massive disconnect, right? Because even though you're in the same business, one guy is doing it one way and he's not going to be able to teach it the way that you want to do it because they don't do it that way, right? So that becomes a problem, yeah? So it's very important when you're looking for a mentor, okay, and you're sussing people out, you're doing your research, that they're actually building their business the way that you want to build your business, right? And let me explain the way that I like to build my business in general, okay? Sorry, not feeling very well. There are a couple of things that I think that are important, okay? If you're going to be building any sort of business, especially if you're going to leverage the internet, then number 1, you must leverage the internet. For me, technology is very important. We live in a day and age, 2018, 2019, 2020, where if you're not leveraging the internet, what the heck are you doing? Why are you building your business through friends and family, through connections, through home parties and stuff like that? That's why MLM doesn't make sense for me at all, right? You can't scale the business. And the problem with MLM is there's no duplication because most people can't duplicate the business, which means that the model is broken, it's flawed, right? So, excuse me, here, let me turn on my computer. And so that becomes a problem. You can't duplicate, right? So how do you solve that problem? Well, you go online. You use technology to create leverage, right? So that you can sell products to hundreds of people all around the world. That's the most important thing, okay? So technology is very, very important. I also want to build a business where, yes, it's very important to be there initially to build the foundation of the business, right? But once you've done all that, I want to have a business where I don't have to be there all the time, right? And I will still make sales and I'll still earn commissions because listen, my whole objective, in life is to build a business where, number one, I'm very, very successful. I'm earning lots of money, right? But number two, I don't have to be there all the time. So that means I don't have to be behind the counter selling to customers or be on the phone for a 4-hour strategy session if I don't want to. If I want to do it, that's fine, right? But if I don't want to do it, and I want to be where I can, be on the beach with my family, or I can go out for dinner and I don't have to worry about it, or I can go to the gym because I enjoy working out, stuff like that, right? I don't want to always have to be on work, be on my business all the time. I want to go on vacation. I want to, enjoy the world. I want to take mini retirements in Italy. I want to, take a mini retirement in Fiji, whatever, whatever you want to do, whatever is important to you. But the time element for me is very, very important. Number three, I also want a business where I can actually earn a lot of money, because there are some businesses out there where you can earn some money, but you can't earn a lot of money, right? And so the ability to scale my business, like, once you figure it out and you want to go, poof, you want to explode it, that's so important, right? And so with MLM, unfortunately, again, on paper, it makes a lot of sense. And again, I'm just talking about MLM now because that's where I started, right? But with MLM, you're not able to do that. On paper, again, the whole duplication thing makes a lot of sense, but in reality, you can't, right? But the beauty about online business is that when you figure out how to make $1, $3, all you need to do is scale your advertising, and it just goes boom, it explodes. You don't actually have to do anything different. All I have to do is increase the ad spend on my Facebook ads, increase the ad spend on my solo ads, increase the ad spend on my YouTube ads, or do more videos on YouTube that will stay up there forever. And that creates leverage, right? And point number 4, very important, which actually ties a lot of this stuff up, is leverage. There must be leverage points in my business, right? If there are no leverage points in my business, then it's not interesting for me. I don't want to build that kind of business, right? And some of the leverage points that I'll talk to you about today is, number 1, that I mentioned earlier, is scale. Being able to scale your traffic. Number 2, that's very, very important, is can I have stuff online where I don't have to be there selling, but stuff is going to be automated and it's going to be selling for me, right? So in online business, the type of business I like to build, there are multiple leverage points if you think about it. There is email. So when I send an email, it goes to thousands of people at one go, right? That's leverage. Number 2, I've got hundreds of videos all over YouTube, right? And they're playing 24 hours a day. So whether I'm there or not, it doesn't matter, because people are watching my content, right? And they're getting to know, like, and trust me, and it's helping to sell stuff in my business. Number 3, webinars, right? You can do a live webinar where it's a stage for you to speak to thousands of people, or it could be an automated webinar. So if I'm not necessarily there live, it's still selling for me every single day, right? And it could be my own webinar, or I could be marketing some other marketer's webinar, right? But it's still a webinar. It doesn't really matter. And when you understand how to, implement these things in your business, then it becomes really, really powerful, okay? And so that's the kind of business I like to build, okay? I don't know what kind of business you like to build, but for me, these were the very, very important things. And honestly, it took me a long time to figure that kind of stuff out, right? So that was a little bit of I kind of went off a little bit, but important for you to understand the type of business that I like to build and what I was looking for. Okay, so it took me a long time to find that mentor that was actually building their business that way. Okay, now I found that person about 2 years ago. In fact, it wasn't just one person; it was 2 or 3 people. Right. Now, here's the important thing that I'm just going to finish this and wrap this video up because I don't want it to go too long. My videos tend to go, a little bit long. It's very important that you're okay with investing money to get that mentorship. And that's the last thing that I wanted to say, right? And there are a few different ways that you can do it. You can get mentors from afar. That means you can still take their concepts, learn it for yourself, and implement it in your business, but you're not necessarily working directly with them. So a good example of that is books, right? So I've got a lot of book mentors who I don't get to work directly with, but I've learned a lot from them. One of them is T. Harv Eker, who taught me all about my mindset and money and how to, accept, energy and wealth from the universe. Number 1, he's an amazing guy, T. Harv Eker, right? I buy all his books. The second person is Timothy Ferriss, who I don't have a direct relationship with, but I also buy his books. He wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, and that is something that spurred me into action. Okay, you got to check out these 2 books: The Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker and the 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. 2 of my from afar mentors. Okay. And then you've got the mentors where you actually you're inside their programs, right? So you're either buying their program or they're mentoring you directly, okay? So I've got a few. I've got Vic Stryzew's, I've got Russell Brunson, John Pemberthy, right? So these are some of the guys that I respect highly, right? So I've invested a lot of money in either their one-on-one coaching or their products that they release. I buy almost all their products, right? Because I believe that there are certain skills that I must master, right? And in order for me to master them, I need to get them. And the only way to get them properly is to pay for them, all right? And so you need to be okay to pay for stuff in order to get the skills that you want, okay? So if you're here and you've been on Facebook or YouTube and you're just kind of surfing around on YouTube and you're watching content that's free, which by the way, I've got a lot of free content out there. I mean, this is my YouTube page right there, right? And that's okay. You know, that's okay. But remember that the only way that you're going to really bridge the gap, you know, this is okay to get started with, right? So you're getting free content to start with, but the really, really good stuff, all right? The deep stuff, the deep stuff, right? That will really, you know, push that needle for you, you need to pay for it. You need to invest in it, which is why when I decide on mastering a skill, like my YouTube skills, or my webinar skills, or my emailing skills, or my presentation skills, or my video skills, guys, I paid for all of that. You know, the only way that you're able to really become really amazing and master your craft is if you're willing to invest money in it. So don't be afraid to do that. Now, I understand a lot of you guys, you know, you might not necessarily have the money to do that, but understand that you're going to have to do it anyway. You're going to have to find a way. Okay, this is business, and you're just going to have to find a way, all right? So don't be afraid to invest money in the skills that you think are important with the people that you think will be able to teach you those skills. That's basically it, okay? So find a mentor, find the right mentor, invest in their programs, and just take everything on board. It's so important. That's, you know, literally, if I look at how much money I've spent over the last 10 years on purely products that are good for my brain, I've probably spent $40,000 to $50,000 easily. Spent it on products, webinars, masterminds, conferences, all those things, you know, businesses, everything. 50,000 just on my mind. That's not even including the amount of money that I've spent on advertising and traffic and all that stuff. If you want to include all that, that's like 2 or 3 times that. Okay. So again, be willing to do that because that's really, really important. Okay. So that's it. I want to wrap this up. Let me know what you think. Does that make sense, right? You know, the whole mentorship thing. Do you think that it's important to have a mentor? Do you think that it's important to have the right mentor, right? And are you willing to spend money on the right programs to help you up here, improve your skill set, right? So that you can become a better marketer, a better business person, and so you can get tremendous results in your business. Yeah? Listen, if you got some value from this video today, let me know. Would really appreciate that. Get some thumbs ups if you got some value from this video today. If you know someone who needs this video, please share it. Okay, share this with the world because there are a lot of people out there that are struggling and they need to hear this message, okay? And lastly, if this is the first time you're watching my video, or if you watch lots of my videos but you're not in my program, right? So there are 2 things right now. So if you click right below this video, you'll get access to my 4-day training program. It's free, okay? And it's gonna, you know, start to teach you a lot about, you know, internet marketing, how I built a business online, and it's some of my best, you know, work out there, right? But if you want to go deep, if you really want to, you know, learn directly from me, then once you click on that actual, once you're going through the 4-day training program, there is a way for you to actually work with me and actually get into the same business that I'm marketing right now. And if you do that, then you'll actually get access into my private groups, you'll get access to my private training, you'll get access to me, all that good stuff. And again, you know, it's not for everyone, but if you're ready for it, then I recommend that you do that, right? If you've been watching my content, you enjoy it, you've been learning a lot of stuff from me, but you really want to take that next level, then you can do that by clicking on the link right below this video. Okay, so listen, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you got a lot of value from it. All the best in your business. Hopefully we'll speak soon, and take care.